Here's your daily dose of fitness, food, and fun. Angelica's Daily Surprise starts now.
So many people ask me, they're like, I just can't seem to flutter. Why can't I do it? Because you're hyperventilating. So one more time. This is not a very flattering image. That's why I have cleavage to distract you. Hello there and welcome to my apartment. Today we are tackling one of the most mysterious and challenging belly dance steps of all time, the flutter. And it looks something like this. How do we do that? So many people ask me, they're like, I just can't seem to flutter. And then they do something like this. Why can't I do it? And it's like, well, because you're hyperventilating and you're panting. Now, one of the ways to achieve a good flutter is by holding your breath. So you cannot breathe while you're doing the flutter. That's why you can't really do it for too long, but as you train, then you can hold your breath for longer, develop the muscular control, and then do it for up to 20 to sometimes even 30 seconds. So first of all, we're just gonna warm up the stomach. Now, you want the stomach to be nice and loose. Let it all hang out, and then pull it back in. Let it all hang out. Let your tongue relax, and then pull it all in. So the step itself is kind of hot, but the process leading up to it is definitely not. So one more time, and then pull it in. Now, when you do the actual flutter, you're not using your whole stomach like this. You're not activating the abs in this way, okay? This is just to warm up the stomach. You could even give it a little poke. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, now the flutter is controlled by the diaphragm. We all know what the diaphragm is and we all hear about it, but where is it and how does it help us with this particular move? Well, the diaphragm is like a little mini sky dome shape. Shout out to Toronto there. It's a little sky dome that lives under your lungs. So it's right here. And when you breathe, it contracts, and then it propels the air out of your lungs, okay? So it helps us to breathe. And you also do a lot of diaphragm and breathing exercises if you're like a theater actor or a singer who's looking to project and use their voice in the most effective way possible. So even if you're not interested in belly dancing or learning a super cool party trick, you can use it to project for public speaking. So one more time, we're just going to inhale, visualize that diaphragm. Exhale. Okay. Now, we have to hold our breath when we're doing these flutters. When you're holding your breath, you want to see this part of your body hollowed out. This is your jugular notch. Okay? So you're holding your breath. You want to feel your diaphragm pulling in, but keep your stomach relaxed. So I'm pinching and pulling my skin under my ribs. So I'm keeping my stomach relaxed. If I'm breathing once again and I'm activating my abs, you're pulling everything in. So relax, keep the abdominals relaxed. Breathe in, visualize the skin pulling and sucking under your lungs and being pinned under your jugular notch. Okay, so my lungs are expanding. I'm holding my breath. I'm talking right now. I've had some belly dance teachers that have made me talk while learning how to do flutters because it builds stamina quicker. That's up to you if you want to do that. Of course, I'm not there to enforce any rules, but we're going to try this again, and you're just going to try to dart your stomach out like you're laughing. Surprise, did you know that flutters are pretty much the same as laughing, except without sound. So people say, I've never been able to do a flutter. I'll never be able to do a flutter. Well, have you laughed? If you've laughed really hard once in your life, you've got what it takes. So we're just going to pull in. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, this is very silly, right? One more time. Jugular notch. Ha, 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 ha. So you can see my stomach goes out in, out in, out in, like a frog's tongue. I love the image of the frog's tongue for this. Okay, one more time, let the stomach relax. This time I'm not gonna talk. So these are stomach accents. Now, of course, I have to look like I'm not possessed. That is also a very important part. There's so many layers to dancing, okay? And usually the last instruction to any step is, now smile and look like it's not hard work, okay? So we're gonna try that. Here we go. Okay. All right, we're gonna do another drill before we take a serious attempt at this, okay? One thing to mention that's very important is you don't wanna have your back arched. When your back is arched, your stomach is already stretched. You wanna have the stomach and alignment as straight as possible, okay? So that means tucking the pelvis under slightly so that you have more flesh to work with in the front. When you let your pelvis go and you arch your back, your stomach, you can't get as big of an accent, okay? So make sure that's tucked under. All right, I'm shaking it out. Right, we are going to tip from the hip. So pretend you're in cement all the way up to your belly button and tip from there. Now, this is not a very flattering image. That's why I have cleavage to distract you, but you're going to let your stomach go, okay? Let it go. Isn't this sexy? Okay. I like to drill from here because you really get to feel the movement of the muscles, which is very encouraging when learning something. So we're gonna try it again. So you see, my stomach is nice and loose there. You can also try this laying on a mat. We're not going to do that though because my spray tan will wipe off. So let's try it again, tipping from the hips, keep those shoulders activated, keep the face lovely. Inhale until your jugular notch, I like saying jugular notch, until your jugular notch is hollowed out. And come up. By the way, this will get your abs so strong in ways that you could never do with anything else. Remember, if you hit a wall with this or your stomach gets tired, return to your breathing. All right, you can twist it out. Take a second, go ha, 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 ha. All right. Let it hang out. All right, are you ready to try to get some flutters going? It's a little bit of a running start, right? You have to build momentum and work up to it. And then you hit your wall and then it gets hard and you get a little bit tired. But the more you practice, the longer you can do this for. And remember, you have to hold your breath and just feel like this top part of your abdominals is the one that's giving these little fireworks shooting off in your belly, okay? All right, here we go. Release, and one more time. Okay, no, I have to do that again. I activated my abs too much there. So I'm keeping my stomach relaxed. And done. A few more stomach accents. Ba, ba, ba. And shimmy, it out. Those are belly flutters. Have some fun with that. It especially sounds funny when you drink a big glass of water and then do it, because then your stomach sounds like a waterbed. I wouldn't suggest doing it on a full stomach. Maybe about an hour after you've eaten. Try it sometime. That's been Angelica's Daily Surprise. See you tomorrow.